the 2018 GX 460 for $459 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Welcome to World News Tonight. Several developing stories as we come on. Defending the fixer. The president takes to Twitter to defend his longtime attorney, Michael Cohen. President Trump saying Cohen won't flip. North Korea's surprise. In advance of talks with the U.S., Kim Jong-un suspending all nuclear tests. But will that freeze hold? Celebrating Barbara Bush. The farewell to the former First Lady. Inside the moving ceremony, 4 former presidents looking on, and the moment that brought George H.W. Bush to tears. Killer on the run. How did a convicted murderer disappear from this courthouse just before the guilty verdict was read? The manhunt tonight. Left to die, the body cam footage that appears to show officers did not even get out of their car, responding to 911 calls of a teenager being crushed to death inside of a van. And the urgent health alert tonight, the warning about a certain type of lettuce.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Tom Yamas, and we begin tonight with the escalating tensions at the White House on a variety of fronts. The president busy on Twitter today, aiming strong words of praise towards his longtime attorney and fixer, Michael Cohen. Cohen, the target of an FBI raid and investigation. The president also blasting a number of people and institutions and saying he never used nicknames mocking Attorney General Jeff Sessions or Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. ABC's Tara Palmieri is with the president in Florida. She starts us off tonight.
Tonight, President Trump fiercely defending his personal attorney and fixer, Michael Cohen, attacking a story claiming Cohen may turn on him. Tweeting, "The New York Times and a third-rate reporter are going out of their way to destroy Michael Cohen and his relationship with me in the hope that he will flip." The president continued, "Sorry, I don't see Michael doing that despite the horrible witch hunt and the dishonest media." The Times article quoting Trump's former political advisor, Roger Stone, saying Trump treats Cohen like garbage. Cohen has long professed undying loyalty to the president.
And I will do anything to protect Mr. Trump. But you bring a fight to Donald Trump, he's going to take that fight. I've never come across a situation where Mr. Trump has said something that's not accurate.
But that loyalty will now be tested after the FBI seized evidence from his home, office, and hotel, partly related to the $130,000 payment to porn star Stormy Daniels. The raid infuriating the president.
It's an attack on our country in a true sense. It's an attack on what we all stand for.
The criminal investigation into Cohen igniting more turmoil in the White House. Sources tell ABC News that Attorney General Jeff Sessions threatened he might resign if the president fires his deputy, Rod Rosenstein, who had signed off on the raid. Rosenstein oversees the special counsel investigation on Russia. Trump has considered firing both he and Robert Mueller, but earlier this week tamped down speculation.
They've been saying I'm going to get rid of them for the last 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and they're still here.
All right, Tara joins us from West Palm Beach now. And Tara, the president firing off a number of tweets today, including one about a Washington Post story involving Attorney General Jeff Sessions and Deputy AG Rod Rosenstein.
That's right, Tom. The president, famous for giving his political enemies nicknames, is now denying a Washington Post report that he privately calls Jeff Sessions Mr. Magoo and Rod Rosenstein Mr. Peepers. It's one of the many aggressive tweets he's fired off today from Palm Beach. Tom?
Tara Palmieri for us tonight. Tara, thanks so much. And this programming note, tomorrow on This Week, a big show. George goes one-on-one with DNC Chair Tom Perez and Senator Bob Corker, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chair. Next to that surprise announcement from North Korea, Kim Jong-un voluntarily calling a halt to those nuclear tests and launches of intercontinental ballistic missiles. President Trump calling it progress for all in advance of his upcoming talks with the North Korean leader. But Kim's words and motives under an international spotlight now. Tonight, ABC's chief foreign correspondent Terry Moran reports from London.
No more of these for now. That's the stunning promise from North Korean leader Kim Jong-un with his surprise declaration to a ruling party meeting that the isolated nation will suspend all nuclear and ballistic missile tests effective immediately. And with a flourish, Kim added he will actually abolish a nuclear test site. The nuclear test site has done its job, he said.
This is an extraordinary announcement from the North. We have never seen any kind of movement like this, any kind of concessions in the history of North Korea.
President Trump greeted Kim's announcement with glee, tweeting, "This is very good news for North Korea and the world. Big progress. Look forward to our summit." That summit, tentatively set for late May or early June, a likely factor in Kim's decision as he tries to show flexibility. But many analysts warn there's less to this move than meets the eye. It's not a permanent halt to testing, just a suspension. And North Korea has already achieved much of its nuclear and ICBM goals, with missiles believed to be now capable of reaching most of the continental United States. The key question to any denuclearization deal with North Korea: can they be trusted?
The U.S. is going to be naturally skeptical of any North Korean statement. They have broken every treaty. They have broken every promise that they've ever made to us and to the South Koreans. So this will not just be trust but verify, it will be distrust but verify.
And Terry Moran joins us now live from London. Terry, this concession from Kim Jong-un comes just days before a crucial summit he will have with the president of South Korea.
That's right, Tom. That meeting's scheduled for next Friday. It's only the second time in history that the leaders of North and South Korea will meet. And the immediate goal is to lessen some of the terrible tension between the two countries. They've already set up a telephone hotline. They may open some economic opportunities. But it's also really an opportunity for the world, and especially the U.S. government, to get a good long look at Kim Jong-un in action as a diplomat as he heads towards that summit with President Trump. Tom?
Terry Moran reporting from London tonight for us. Terry, thank you. Now to the life celebration of former First Lady Barbara Bush. The Obamas and Clintons sitting right alongside current First Lady Melania Trump at funeral services in Houston today. Among thousands paying last respects to the mother of the 43rd president and the wife of the 41st president. The Bush's long love story taking center stage. Here's ABC's Amy Robach.
She was the First Lady known for her fierce loyalty and quick wit. Today, family and friends celebrated the life of Barbara Bush, among them former presidents and the first ladies who came after her.
She was our teacher and role model on how to live a life of purpose and meaning.
President George H.W. Bush comforted by his daughter as he said goodbye to the love of his life.
Our family has had a front row seat for the most amazing love story.
Their marriage, the longest in presidential history, 73 years. Their famous love letters shared with the more than 1,500 gathered at St. Martin's Episcopal Church in Houston today.
I was very happy on that day in 1945, but I'm even happier today. You have given me joy that few men know.
I love you, precious, with all my heart. And to know that you love me means my life.
Today, President Bush's signature socks honoring his wife's passion for literacy. The matriarch of an American political dynasty, Barbara Bush never let the spotlight change her.
We learned to strive to be genuine and authentic by the best role model in the world. Her authentic plastic pearls, her not culling her hair. By the way, she was beautiful till the day she died.
The former First Lady now in her final resting place at her husband's presidential library, next to her daughter Robin, who died of leukemia at the age of 3. An amazing life marked by service to her country, her unwavering faith, but above all, love for her family.
And when all the dust is settled and all the crowds are gone, the things that matter are faith, family, and friends.
On Thursday, just 2 days after the passing of the former First Lady, the Bushes welcomed a new baby boy into the family, the 8th great-grandchild for George H.W. and Barbara Bush. Their son, Neil, posting a picture of Max Walker Lauren on Facebook, writing this: "The circle of life, God is good." Tom, back to you.
Some welcome news for the family during this tough time. All right, Amy, thank you. Next to the urgent manhunt underway for a convicted killer. He was inside a Georgia courtroom just before the verdict in the case was read. So how did he manage to disappear? ABC's Zachary Keach with the late details.
Tonight, the urgent manhunt for a man police say walked out of a Georgia courtroom just before being convicted of murder. Police say Verlaine Laguerre, on bond at the time and not in custody, fled during a lunch break, leaving a Fulton County courtroom in shock.
I was just fearful.
It's been 6.5 long years since Gloria lost her 19-year-old son, Matthew Hardiman, a promising college student athlete. His lifeless body, littered with more than 50 bullets, was found in front of their home. A jury convicting Laguerre and another man of gunning him down after a disagreement over a dirty look. Sheriff's deputies and the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force are now desperately searching for Laguerre. as a mother fighting delayed justice is looking for a capture and some closure.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Praying and crying, praying and crying.
Tom, Legary and his accomplice were both sentenced to life plus 5 years in prison. If Legary's caught, he may face additional charges. Tom?
That manhunt underway tonight. All right, Zachary, thank you. And the Missouri governor under new fire tonight, already facing a felony charge related to accusations he took inappropriate photos of a former mistress, now accused of a second felony. ABC's Ariel Reshef picks up the story.
Embattled Missouri Governor Eric Greitens tonight facing a second felony charge, putting his political future in peril. The once rising star in the Republican Party.
I'm Eric Greitens. If you're ready for a conservative outsider, I'm ready to fire away.
Now suspected of illegally using a donor list from the charity he founded to solicit donations for his 2016 campaign. Greitens addressing the latest allegations in a Facebook post, writing, "The original case is falling apart. This prosecutor will use any charge she can to smear me." The former Navy SEAL already charged with felony invasion of privacy amid accusations he bound, blindfolded, and photographed his former hairdresser during a sexual encounter in his home, then allegedly warned her not to talk.
I want to say again what I've said from the beginning. This is a political witch hunt.
The married father of two admitting to infidelity, but vehemently denying all claims of violence or blackmail.
This was a private mistake that has nothing to do with governing and shouldn't be about politics.
The top Democrat in Missouri is calling for immediate impeachment hearings, saying Eric Greitens' short tenure is about to come to an end. The only person who doesn't understand that is Eric Greitens. But Tom, Greitens says he's looking forward to his day in court and is confident his name will be cleared.
All right, Ariel, thank you. Heading overseas now to Syria and the site of that apparent chemical weapons attack. An international team of inspectors finally collecting samples in Douma, where children, you can see them there, and families were reportedly poisoned 2 weeks ago. A State Department spokesperson saying Syrian and Russian officials delayed investigators' access. That alleged chemical attack prompting a retaliatory strike by the U.S., the U.K., and France. Today's samples go back to The Hague in the Netherlands for analysis. And back here at home to Cincinnati, and growing questions over the death of a teenager in a school parking lot. Police accused of failing to respond adequately to urgent 911 calls from that teenager. And tonight, what police body cam of the incident shows. Here's ABC's Kenneth Moten.
Tonight, outrage over just released police body camera video that shows two police officers circling inside their vehicle while an Ohio teen suffocated nearby in his van. Music on the radio, the 3 minutes of video appears to show the responding officers never get out of their patrol car as Kyle Plush, pinned down, made frantic 911 calls.
This is not a joke. I'm trapped inside my gold. I know how to see them.
The Cincinnati Enquirer reports the 16-year-old was kneeling on the third seat, reaching for tennis equipment, when the seat flipped over, trapping him upside down. The police report says the officers searched for 11 minutes.
These kids drive better cars than you do.
Kyle made a second 911 call, giving the make, model, and color of his vehicle. The officers still on the scene, but that critical information was never relayed to them. That 911 operator was placed on leave, but has now been allowed back on the job. There's an ongoing investigation into the actions of the 911 operator and the responding officers. Kyle's family is demanding answers and change in the wake of that tragic accident. Tom?
Kenneth Moten for us tonight. Kenneth, thank you. Turning now to a possible break in the relentlessly cold spring weather, but not before another winter punch for some. That snow in Colorado, take a look right there. This is Colorado Springs. At least the snowfall helping lower the wildfire risk there. You see the sign there. Drenching rains in the southern plains, dousing other fire threats as well. And for many, the spring weather may finally stick. Sam Champion has been tracking it all. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Tom. I know that no one wants to see those snow pictures. We're all a little shaken by the spring and winter that we've had. But that was actually good news. Let's go to the board. We'll show you this is the same system that dropped that snow in Colorado. Not that unusual for Colorado to get snow. Around the Denver area comes usually the last week of April, around the 27th. This low will never tap into Arctic air. So look at it by tomorrow, Sunday, 2 p.m. It's strong storms and heavy rain here. We're talking about 1 to 3 inches of rain from Memphis all the way into the deep south. There will be some storms, some wind, and some hail. Now look at these numbers. These are Sunday afternoon temperatures, and from coast to coast for the first time on the the board, we have spring-like numbers that are very close to normal for almost everyone. Even Denver, that's 39 degrees today, is 66 tomorrow, 62 in New York, 70 in Raleigh. This is the daytime high temperature.